Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Oh, wow. This is beautiful. Okay, let me see. So it's a photograph made
Mhm.
in the morning, probably. It's like morning light. It's a kind of square. There's a mosque in the background with some
Mhm.
hillsides a little bit.
Mhm.
It's in a small village. On the right, you can just barely see somebody sitting there, maybe having coffee. There's a tree. There's a big trunk that just sort of
Okay, I have
dominates.
to look at the picture because I don't remember what picture that was. I'm like now trying to remember. Yeah.
Okay, so it's morning. There are a lot of pigeons in the square.
Oh, that's in Sarajevo. That's the capital city of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and that's Baščaršija, and that's the Sebil, the
Okay.
the thing, the green thing. I'm sorry.
No, it's great. It's great. Okay, so in the background you can see because this is Sarajevo. Okay, this is good to know.
Yeah, yeah,
It looks like it's early summer.
yeah.
Um, it's beautiful light. It's a beautiful square. There's nobody there, so it must be quite early in the morning.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because people love walking by there like every single day. It's like a popular tourist attraction. So the fact that there are no people in that exact moment, yeah, that's very very rare. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So why start the episode with this photo?
Well, because I love that area. It means a lot to me.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Whenever I go to visit Bosnia, whenever I go to visit Sarajevo, that's like the first spot I want to go see.
Okay.
Yeah, I just chill out there, drink some coffee, talk to random people because that's how Bosnians are. Like you can just like talk to anybody walking down the street. You don't even have to know them. It's just normal, It's
Sort
just
of like
normal.
us right now.
Yeah, exactly. Like people are really friendly, It's like, "Hey, how you doing?" They're like, "Oh, fine." I'm You know what I mean? You just start talking to people. So,
So
yeah.
so where do you live now? Because your English is accented with some very strong, I'd say, Northeast U.S. kind of
Yeah,
inflection.
yeah, yeah. I live in Michigan.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. It's way, way up in the north.
okay,
The mitten. Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah.
So I assume right now is full on winter in Michigan.
Yeah, yeah, we're right in the middle of February. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
winter.
S
Although it's not snowing here right now, so that's good. And hopefully I'm not gonna jinx anything and then it starts snowing and people are gonna be like, Ida,
Sure.
what have you done? Yeah. So
Okay. So here's what's interesting. So right now I'm in Hong Kong, and there's a village. Well, it's just kind of it's a town. If you go down to the bottom, it's called Sai, and in the square in Sai, it's Chinese.
yeah,
And if I go there early in the morning when there are no people, there are trees. There's a square, no pigeons, no mosque, but there's a
yeah,
temple. And
yeah.
the hills outside of Saikong are very similar to the hills in the photograph here because they seem to really just start. Do they start at the town and it climbs up, or is it basically within hills itself? Like, describe the landscape that I'm looking at.
So Sarajevo is surrounded by like mountains.
Okay.
It's literally surrounded. So it's all hilly. I don't know if hilly is a word, but yeah, it's all hilly. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. So winters are long there, there's lots of snow. It's beautiful.
Worse
It's
than
beautiful.
Michigan?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know, right? I know. Yeah. It's like a frozen tundra of a city in the winter. Yeah.
Oh
But
wow. Okay.
yeah. The awful part about it though is like, during the course of the Bosnian genocide, that was perfect for snipers, like
Ah.
the Serbians were like, "Oh, this is excellent." And then they would hide, up on the hills and just shoot at people.
Okay.
Yeah. They had a perfect view. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, the conversation took a very hard left there. Okay.
Sorry.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
It's fine. Look, for me, it's this is just where we're going. Okay.
Yeah.
So, were you? I mean, you look really young. Like,
Yeah.
were you just
Thank
born?
you. Yeah. Shucks. I was born November 15, 1990.
90. Okay, okay. So in terms of the conflict, in terms of your experience of the conflict, was it more of an intergenerational sort of experience? Because how much do
Hmm.
you remember, or what does memory influence in your head? Regarding the war.
So the war was from 1992 to 1995. My father was shot in his ankle by a Serbian Chetnik. The Chetniks are basically like hardline Serbian nationalists. That's a
Mm-hmm.
Chetnik.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, the nationalism is like the disease of the Balkans. But anywho, okay, my mom and I were one time in a situation in our apartment where snipers shot through our window,
Oh
and
shit.
the bullets landed 2 inches away from my mom and I. Yeah,
Oh wow. And but
yeah,
you were young, so what do you
yeah,
remember? Okay, so for example, my daughter is 11 now, and
yeah.
I kind of kid around that up until it's 6 or 7, it doesn't matter. Her experience
Oh, no,
matters.
no, 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 no. That's not true. I remember being in a refugee camp, and I was two
Okay.
years old.
Oh wow.
Um, yeah, I remember like Malaysia. I don't remember the war because I was like 1 years old, like
Hmm.
around one when it all happened. I was like
Yeah.
super, super young, but I have memories starting from the age of 2. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I do want to say my family and I suffered extensively because of the war. You know, my father was shot in his ankle by a sniper. Like, he's unemployed.
Mm.
Um, he is disabled. He has a heart condition. He hasn't been able to work as a mechanical engineer. That's built a lot of resentment in
Oh, for
him,
sure.
against the monster that shot him, right?
Right.
And it's been a horrifying ordeal, really.
Yeah.
It's a lot to endure. I'm surprised that none of us have gone like insane because of the amount of discrimination, hatred, and pain we've all been through. So I'm gonna keep it real. It is what it is. So
No, you need look. I mean, this is a moment to highlight. Well, because for example, we're all given a certain limit of seconds of consciousness of
yeah,
life or whatever,
yeah,
and we don't know how many we're given when we
yeah.
start.
Mm-hmm,
And for your dad, for you, for your mom, for your relatives, for the
mm-hmm,
town, for
mm-hmm.
the country, I mean, like, how do you process what happened? So but right now you're in Michigan.
Yeah, I'm in Michigan, but it's you know I'm an only child.
Hmm.
And I mean, the war affected my entire life, the course of my entire life, because, yeah, I'm an only child. I mean, I'm an only child because of circumstances,
Hmm.
because of war. Like, my mom didn't want to have another child because she was afraid of what might happen. Like, what
Mm.
if she dies? What if my father dies?
Wow.
What if we don't relocate to a good country? We didn't,
Hmm.
it wasn't like a straight path. Oh, hey, Beverly Hills hotel service. Here you go. You're
Hmm.
welcome to the US. It wasn't like that at all.
Hmm.
I lived in Bosnia and then Croatia and then a refugee camp in the Czech Republic, then Paris, France, then Malaysia, and then I came to the US. That was not a straight
Wow.
path. I really
No.
want to say that. It was a nightmare. It was a
Sure.
nightmare. And I don't think I speak enough about this. I really don't think I've like gotten enough of my life out there because I think it's relevant to hear.
Mm.
Like in Malaysia, for example, I was one of the only white kids in
Hmm.
one of my schools, in kindergarten. And I have to say, I did face discrimination, but in the US, it's way, way worse.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, and I think that's a damn shame, you
Yeah.
know, because America is a nation of immigrants, because Americans have gone through everything. You know what I mean? Like this country has like
Yep.
gone through the blender. We've had
Mm-hmm.
racism, sexism, nativism, nationalism, classism. We've gone through it all,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sad. It's sad. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, hey, no, no, definitely don't need. I'm the Canadian. I'm the one who says sorry. Okay, well, let's just to keep the
it's
conversation
I
flowing.
yeah,
No, no, it's of course
yeah.
it's a lot, but it's also
I learned to be polite. So it's just something that's in me. So I say sorry like all the time. Yeah.
it's okay. It's nice. I appreciate it. Let's go to the next photo. First of all, the photo of the first one, this morning square is really
Yeah.
beautiful. Like my
Thank you.
reference, yeah, and my reference in terms of my experience of direct connection to that, the closest thing I think I've seen to that would probably be this village in Turkey.
No.
There is something beautiful about the light in that part of the world,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely.
so let's move on to the next photo. Okay,
Yeah. For sure.
nice. So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes, shooting it raw.